Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, taking a look at the feature race at Saratoga on Sunday. Race number 9 is the Grade 2 Bowling Green for some long-winded turf horses. Let's take a look at this field. They're going to go 3 turns, 1 mile and 3/8 over the inner turf at the Spa on Sunday. $250,000 is the purse for the Bowling Green, and the horse they're all going to have to beat is the 2, Silver Knott, who has been on quite a roll for Godolphin and Charlie Appleby. 2 graded stakes races in a row with longer distance races and has really looked good in both of them. Let's see where they have Silver Knott on our Timeform US pace projector. And one of his best assets at these longer distances is that Silver Knott can stay within range of the early lead and still kick home late. The pace setter is likely to be the number 6, Strong Quality, a horse that can get dangerous if allowed to shake loose on the early lead for trainer Mark Casse. He took some pressure last time out in the Grade 1 Manhattan, going a shorter distance against arguably a tougher field. Perhaps he'll be able to relax up front and perhaps pose a little bit of a challenge to the favorite. We'll kick things off with the number 1, Ohana Honor, and this horse was second best to Silver Knott in the Man o' War 2 starts back during the Belmont at Aqueduct meeting, and then ran fine to be a dead heat third in the Grade 1 Manhattan, finishing ahead of our expected pace setter Strong Quality. Ohana Honor's riding a little bit of a losing streak in stakes races. He's only competed 4 times in them, and he's hit the board in 3 of them. His win 3 starts back was going 1.5 miles at Keeneland, however, and I really liked the way he was ridden that day. They were aggressive with him out of the stalls. There was a race with no pace. He controlled the fractions, and he sprinted on home. I think if Ohana Honor is sent out of there by Kendrick Carmouche, he doesn't necessarily need to make the lead, but he can sit a comfortable pace-tracking, ground-saving trip, and Ohana Honor, trained by Shug McGahee, can come with a late kick. He earned a 100 Beyer speed figure last time out and appears to be in career form. Let's watch Silver Knott's most recent try. This is a win in the Grade 2 Man o' War, where he just was able to sit relatively close to a very fast pace. There was a runaway long shot leader that went out to a big advantage on the backstretch the final time. Silver Knott followed the horse to beat. The big favorite is stablemate Nation's Pride, eased out into the stretch, and as you see, sealed the deal to the tune of a 106 Beyer speed figure. He won at 1.5 miles 2 starts back, and he just seems like he's in good form, and Appleby seems like he knows where to place him. He's freshened him up after the Silver Knott, after the Man o' War, decided not to run Silver Knott back in the Manhattan at a shorter distance. He wants to concentrate on this horse running long, and he is the horse to beat. Sugoi is the number 3 for trainer Michael Maker. This horse is in fine form. He's finished first or second in his last 5 starts, had that 4-race win streak snapped at Churchill Downs last time out, going 1 mile and 3/8. He showed good speed that day, made the lead in the stretch, and it took a really good horse in Web Slinger to kick him down in the final 16th of a mile. Sugoi is fast. I'm not sure he's as fast as Mark Casse's runner in here, but I do think Sugoi can be part of the pace picture if that is the kind of tactics that Julien Leparoux chooses to employ. And Leparoux did employ those tactics 2 starts back in the Louisville when taking the field gate to wire at 1.5 miles. I would expect Sugoi to be up close to the pace, and he seems to be on the improve for a master trainer. The 4 is English Conqueror. We're going to watch his most recent start. This is a good effort off a 6.5-month layoff. Second level allowance at the Belmont at Aqueduct meet, going 1 mile and 3/16, and English Conqueror was able to work out a really nice trip under Jose Lezcano, and he guts it out to win at 11-1. Good job on these connections to have this horse ready to fire off such a lengthy layoff. Now he's going to be stepping up in class again. It's a little bit of an ask against much tougher horses. He has to run faster from a Beyer standpoint, but I do like that tactical speed, and he sure came back running last time out. The 5, Soldier Rising, has been a maddening horse for many horse players, including myself. He's finished second 10 times in 21 starts, while running races that make you think that next win is just around the corner, but like the siren song, it hasn't worked out for Soldier Rising fans. Here's his final start of 2023, the Red Smith. He's the 9-5 favorite in here. He doesn't have a lot of early speed. He was last after 3/4 of a mile. He comes with his usual good late run, and as usual, he falls just a little bit short. he is good enough to win this race. He needs a lot of things to go his way. I do believe this pace could be fast enough for him to adequately set up his kick. He just needs a little bit of a trip, and he has to prove that he has that will and that intestinal fortitude inside to win. Soldier Rising coming off a little bit of a layoff in here. He's run well fresh in the past. The 6 is Strong Quality. We talked about him as a potential pace setter, although Sugoi will probably be right around the corner. The Manhattan was likely a tough spot, and it didn't help that he never really got a breather on the lead. He was a stakes winner on dirt 2 starts back going a mile, but I just get the feeling he's likely better on turf when he's able to get to the front and back down the fractions. With Sugoi in here, that could be a little bit of a tough test for Strong Quality at this longer distance. Strong Tide is up next, and he finished 3rd in the Grade 2 Wise Dan last time out, going a mile and a 16th, but don't pigeonhole him as a middle distance horse. He ran just fine when second to Sugoi 2 starts back in the Louisville, going a mile and a half. He's another very tactical horse, and he has some back races that would make him very interesting. He was 3rd in the Grade 1 Man of War back in 2023. He's the kind of horse that needs a trip. He's tactical enough to find a trip. I'm curious to see if he's as good now as he was in 2023, 2022. But hitting the board in graded stakes races in his last 2, both at huge prices, indicate that maybe he could spice things up in a single race exotic standpoint. We'll take a look at my top selections for the Bowling Green. Silver Knott to me just looks very, very tough. He's going to be a short price, unfortunately. I wonder if Ohana Honor can trip out, sitting in the second flight or so behind a very fast pace, and maybe he can go one better than Silver Knott, who outfooted him to the wire in the Man of War in Ohana Honor's most recent start. Soldier Rising, I'm going to settle for a minor award again with him, but I'm curious to see if he comes back and really wants it this year in 2024. I'll go with Silver Knott in the Bowling Green. Good luck.